sell for 1%. I am joined by the gang, Jason Barlow, Mike Hopper, and head broker Dave Barlow. And today we have Ryan Cochran at NFM Lending with us to talk a little bit about interest rates and what's going on this week with interest rates, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. So yeah, definitely a lot of news with the Silicon Valley banking institution closing and going under, and then just a lot of Fed meetings going on as well, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So a lot of things going on right now. So the recent bank crash, obviously with SVB, it definitely is going to affect mortgage rates and where they're at. The government has been trying to control high inflation because of the raising, and then they're raising interest rates because of that high inflation. So which has obviously slowed down the housing market and caused a little bit of technically it's a recession, but not what I would consider a recession where we're visibly seeing it. But this has caused banks to struggle, right? And that one major bank, SVB, going out of business is definitely detrimental and not great news. But the Fed has already announced that all the individuals that were banking with SVB, which is primarily going to be individuals that are in startup companies, so it's not just $250,000, which everybody's guaranteed to get reimbursed that with every banking institution. But it's going to be a lot more money than that those clients had in that banking institution, and they already have said that they're going to be getting those funds back into their accounts. They're not going to lose anything. They're going to get their full money back. So they're trying to stop anybody from panicking and pulling out money, right? But typically when that happens, you see that the market will start to go down overall with the Feds, and then in return, when people start to panic, they go into buying more safer and secure investments like mortgage-backed security bonds. So I think that ultimately we're going to see an improvement with interest rates. Now, if the Feds do plan on, or if their plan is successful and they do come to our saving grace and the program, which is called the Bank Term Funding Program, which this allows the borrowers, right, the banks to borrow money against their investments in treasury and mortgage bonds. So either way this plays out in the scenario, it's going to end up being good for mortgage interest rates, because if the banking institutions start to crumble and the Feds aren't able to be our saving grace and save the banking institutions, then people will start to pull out their money. The 10-year treasury, although it's not directly correlated to the mortgage-backed security bonds, we tend to follow what and be affected by what that 10-year treasury does. So if the 10-year treasury typically goes down, then mortgage rates go the opposite direction. If they go up, then mortgage rates go down the opposite direction. So if the 10-year treasury goes up, we'll typically see people starting to buy in the mortgage-backed security bonds, forcing interest rates to go down. But because of that program, a lot of individual banking institutions like SVB are going to start to invest their investments where? Treasuries and mortgages. So because they know that they can borrow money against that, forcing them to buy more bonds, which is, again, good for mortgage rates. So I think either way we come out of this, we're going to be safe. I think that it's going to overall lower interest rates. I think that right now, where we're seeing them, depending on everybody's specific situation, is anywhere from a 6.25 to 7.25, anywhere in that ballpark between that. And where we were seeing them at was, mid fives to mid sixes. I think that's where this event is going to push us back to, which is definitely a good thing. Going into spring, going into summertime, a lot more individuals are going to be coming off the sidelines and eager to buy up homes. So I think overall, it's going to be a good thing. This is all good news. The market, the rest of this week will just be volatile. So we might not see those adjustments happen quite yet and immediately. But I think throughout the next week or two, that's when we'll start to see some things happening in improvement.
Yeah, I think it only took about 10 or 11 days about a month ago to go from 5.5 to 6.5 up to 7. So for it to come back down in 10 or 11 days is not too far fetched, I don't think. And so that's a good, as you said, it's a good thing for buyers out there that rates come back down, and probably as we get closer to 6 and teeter-totter just below, then buyers will obviously feel a little better. Although I will tell you that it seems like houses that we put on the market are being bought up just about as quick as we can put them on.
Oh yeah.
We don't have the demand that we had a year ago this time, where, you know, we put a house on the market and have 20 offers. But I just recently sold one that we had 5 offers on. And I think 7 of the 9 or 7 of the 10 listings have all been multiple offer with at least 2. And so we're seeing the market, you know, start to pick up. Columbus is a good market for that. So it's interesting that no matter which way it goes, that in your opinion, you think it's going to push interest rates down.
Yeah, I think overall that's where we're going to be heading. You know, every major mortgage expert, right? Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, mortgage research, they all say that we're going to continue to head down, right? Fannie Mae predicts that we're supposed to be, like I've mentioned this to you guys before, but heading towards the mid 4s by first quarter or second quarter of 2023. I don't think that that's going to happen. Freddie Mac, mortgage research, they both predict that, you know, it could be anywhere 4.875 to 5.125 by the fourth quarter. I personally think it's going to come down right around the presidential election. So into those types of rates between, you know, mid 4s to mid 5s, the presidential election in 2024, which historically over time, that's when we see a little bit of a decrease in mortgage interest rates.
And gas prices,
like you said, imagine that.
Yeah, gas prices will be about $1.29.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, good. Well, we appreciate the update and all the information. I learned a little bit this morning about really, and it's good information that no matter which way this all heads, it's going to put pressure on mortgage-backed securities to be bought up, which will push interest rates down, because we'll have more demand than we have supply in the mortgage-backed security. And so that'll push things down, and that's always a good thing. We saw kind of the same thing. Jamie and Mike weren't around. Ryan, you weren't in the business yet, but we saw kind of the same thing back when the euro was first coming online. And I thought that there would be a lot more money moving out of the American markets and into the euro market. And at first there was. And then we had a little hiccup in Greece and in Italy, where they were on the verge of bankruptcy, and the euro had to go bail those 2 countries out. And we saw a flood of money come back into the American market, especially the mortgage-backed securities, and interest rates fell quite dramatically during that time frame. So there's always an impetus somewhere that's going to affect the market.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, I'm glad that the depositors of SVP are being made whole. I'm also happy that the shareholders of SVP are not being made whole because of their stupidity. So I think that's a good thing. So and if the ultimate outcome is lower interest rates, then good for all of us.
Yep.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. Appreciate your insight. Thank you. And we should mention,
absolutely, thanks for having me, guys,
that the old rugger at NFM, if you have any questions whatsoever, his contact information is here on the screen. Don't be afraid to give Ryan a call. He's got a tremendous wealth of information and knowledge, as you just heard, and he'd be happy to talk with you and give you insight as to your situation and get you, as we say, from point A to point B. Point A, I think I might like to buy a house, and point B, sitting at the closing table. So thanks for your time, Ryan.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.